All right, with much conversation being had about Todd Monken being the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, we saw the post that Myles Garrett sent out, put on Instagram that sent shockwave through the Cleveland Browns fan base and the national media as well. They talked about this, so that made a lot of waves. So it has people wondering, what are the coaches saying? What are players saying about this hire of Todd Monken? What is he going to do with the quarterback position? Does he want Shedeur Sanders? Will he be able to benefit Shedeur Sanders the way he has other quarterbacks? What do the guys in the locker room feel? We got a glimpse of some things with more to come. We have to get all the way into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into it here. We got to get into this article here on clevelandbrowns.com. It says coaches and players share support for Todd Monken as Browns head coach. And he needs it. Let's be clear. Todd Monken has been getting his ass tore up ever since he got the job. It ain't been good. It has not been good. So he needs to hear some positive words. So let's see what they had to say. Here it says, after the Browns announced Todd Monken as the team's 19th full-time head coach in team history, coaches he worked alongside as well as former players of his offered their support for Monken. This is Monken's first head coaching position in the NFL, and he brings 37 years of coaching experience at the collegiate and professional level. So he has a ton of experience, just never been an NFL head coach, but hey, whatever. Including 11 years in the NFL. Check out quotes from Giants head coach John Harbaugh, Georgia head coach Kirby Smart, and quarterback Jameis Winston on Monken as he steps into his first NFL head coaching position. Now, Jameis Winston was a quarterback for Todd Monken, okay? And this is what Jameis Winston had to say. Here it is. Monken worked with Jameis Winston during his 3 seasons with the Buccaneers from 2016 through 18. Winston completed 871 passes, 871 out of 1,387 passing attempts for 10,500 passing yards, 43 touchdowns in 40 games. Now, we knew Jameis, he might throw you 30 touchdowns, might throw 30 picks too. But hey, he still put up some big numbers under Todd Monken. This is what Jameis Winston had to say. Todd Monken is a tough, exciting coach that believes in empowering his players. I'm so grateful to see his hard work and dedication pay off with him being the head football coach for the Cleveland Browns. One inspirational quote and actually a mentality that Coach Monk invited our offense to adapt was everything matters. And that obsession over every meeting, every play allowed us to have success with his leadership and passion for every little detail will align perfectly with the hungry fan base who loves their team no matter what, an exciting young roster ready to make a difference in Cleveland. So a former quarterback of Todd Monken had glowing things to say about him. John Harbaugh, who many Browns fans wanted, said Todd is an outstanding coach. He's worked his way up and paid his dues. He was invaluable in what we did the past 3 years. Now, John Harbaugh wanted Todd Monken to be his offensive coordinator in New York, so much so he held the spot open for him and said, hey, if it don't work out, I got a job for you right here because I want you. He said he deserves this opportunity, and I believe he will be successful. Todd is a good friend. I wish him all the best with the Browns. So there are people amongst the NFL community that have great things to say about Todd Monken. I'm just hoping he can do great and do right by Shedeur Sanders, all in all. That's what we want at the end of the day, right? We want somebody that can get it right with Shedeur Sanders. We got to go to what they had to say on UCSS about this. My man G. Bush got the cook and it got kind of crazy.
Have to do their part.
Yeah, of course.
The players gotta come in, lock in, and figure it out in terms of what he wants to run and how they want to move. But I do think that he'll get the most out of them, and I think he'll have a generally positive attitude in coaching these guys up in this room. Obviously, you go down his track record. I don't know if Gunnar Stockton was still there, but you had him. You had other guys at Georgia that played very well. I like what he talked about with the run game. He also went on to say, like, in terms of his run game, if you can't run the ball, you're done. You can't run it. And running the ball doesn't necessarily mean that it's married to a personnel grouping. You can run the ball and be physical but with 4 receivers on the field. It's just about the commitment to do so. Now, some Ravens fans will laugh and joke and say, he should have been giving Derrick Henry the ball more back in the day. So that's part of the play calling, and play callers going to have those ebbs and flows. But in terms of what he's looking for, I love the fact that he talks about he needs a quarterback that's going to make plays out of schedule. He needs players that's going to be a playmaker and ability. And he talks all the time about if you got that key attribute and key trait, that he can work around some other things and get what's best from you, from your skill set. So if I look at Shedeur Sanders, he throws the ball downfield, throws a beautiful deep ball. He's been showing he's more mobile than I think a lot of people give him credit for. And he's a guy who, he's going to incorporate RPOs and different things like that. But I think it's a good marriage. By the way, I actually think Deshaun Watson and Dylan Gabriel will look better with Todd Monken and what he's able to incorporate into this offense. In terms of Deshaun Watson being a shotgun type dude, Dylan Gabriel is shorter, smaller stature, so he'll be in the shotgun more. But I think more importantly, I think his attention to detail, holding people accountable, and being creative and tailoring game plans to their attributes, Tyvus, I think is going to make them look better.
You've been watching Deshaun throw that ball. You seen that zip?
Hey man, I just I've been in my film bag.
Hey,
the zip is his quarterback rating as a Brown.
anyways,
Yeah.
Was George Pickens at Georgia when he was there?
Yeah, I heard. Was he?
Isn't George Pickens a free agent?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, but the Cowboys are probably
He could be
franchise.
franchise tagged. He ain't hitting the market.
Wouldn't that be something? They would never do that. They would never do that.
No.
I agree with Gino. I think that
He was at Georgia for those 2 years, Tyvus. 2 of his 3 years.
wouldn't that be something? No, I can see for sure when you look at the quarterback room. Obviously, I've already spoken on the fact that he wanted Shedeur, the Baltimore Ravens, to draft Shedeur. So there is something.
We don't know that he wanted them to draft Shedeur.
I mean, he's on the staff. He's offensive coordinator. So I'm assuming
We don't know.
I'm assuming he was in on the conversation.
Okay, go ahead. Well,
Come on.
Well, do you think he's offended then that Shedeur said, "Don't draft me"?
No, because he probably understood the exact reason why Shedeur said don't draft me.
Because he was not going to play behind Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
well, he probably would have.
Yeah, he would have.
He played. I mean, not play, right? Yeah.
No, but I think that when you look at just the development of well, not the development, but how he's elevated Lamar's game, and obviously Derrick Henry makes a big a big difference in the run game. But you got two young guys that could potentially be that. Not saying Shedeur has the athleticism of Lamar Jackson. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
But to say that you've seen Lamar become a better passer over the past couple of years under Todd Monken, that means something. And I think Shedeur already has good things when he makes the right decisions with the ball. He actually has made some throws that's made you stand up out of your chair. So you can get a guy that can go in there and fine-tune it, obviously help him see the game in a different way. You could have something there. And if Deshaun Watson ever wants to go back to 2020, this is probably his best opportunity to do that, because you're coming in, you got a new guy that's everybody's starting ground zero. There is no favorites. Everybody is on the same level. It's about who can come in there and get the playbook right and can make the reads and make the throws the best during OTA. So, therefore, it's an open competition between three quarterbacks. Three guys are going to go in there every day and try to be the best, that by the time we get to the season, there will be so much development, because competition breeds development. And I think having those three guys compete, I don't want it to be like it was last year where this is a clear open 4-quarterback competition. Don't want it to be that. I think it will necessarily is really just two guys that's competing for it, which it should be. And I think those two guys have a good relationship within each other. But when you get on the field, you want to compete. So you're going to try to be your best every day. And I think both guys can grow from that.
So a couple of things. There's no chance it's going to be the same three quarterbacks in my mind. I'll be stunned beyond belief.
You think they're going to ship?
Well, Fowler said there's going to be a shakeup to the quarterback room. What that means, I don't know. Now, it doesn't mean he's definitely right. Maybe
They're going
somebody.
to get Carson back.
I don't know what they're going to do. He suggested they might draft Ty Simpson at 24. Would you have a problem with that if they drafted Ty Simpson at 24?
Yes.
Of course.
You'd have a problem with it?
A huge
I
problem.
don't love it.
I would, you know what? I would have to
Yeah.
see how March 11 shake out.
That's the combine?
Let's start a free agency.
Oh, free agency.
I need
Right,
to
right,
see
right.
what happens during that.
I just don't think Ty Simpson's that good.
Yeah.
But
well,
look.
and to me with Malik Willis, it's like I'd rather just see Shedeur Sanders get a chance than I don't think Malik Willis is any more likely to be a good starting quarterback than Shedeur
Well, the
Sanders.
funny thing is, G just said that Todd Monken talks about a guy who's got to be able to improvise and make plays with his legs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Malik Willis definitely do that.
Yeah, but I just want to go back to something you said in the beginning. I think it's kind of disrespectful. You said it's mostly about the players. You can talk about the coach all you want, whatever. You said, and I agree. I think it's disrespectful to players when we give too much credit to the coaches for how good they are. And I think we do that too often.
I just did
like
that.
Todd Monken, should he do a good job with the quarterbacks? Yes. Is he going to help Shedeur Sanders get better? He should.
Mm-hmm.
But if Shedeur Sanders becomes a legitimate good starting quarterback in the NFL, it's mostly going to be because of him.
Right.
Not because of Todd Monken, but everything factors in. Certainly the coach factors in. The system factors in. The talent around you factors in. How you slept the night before. Your habits off the field. All these things factor in.
I feel like it's like 70-30. 70-30 player coach.
Well, what about talent around you?
Well, no, because with the coach, like they do help you see the game and play faster. Like,
okay, well, you would know.
Yeah, like for example, like as a safety, like me in high school, learned the game a different way. But when I got to college and I met Chris Ash, like he helped me see things, so it made me play faster and see things faster. Like, so the coach does matter into your development and how well you play, because they got to put you in position to make those plays.
Okay.
It's like everybody talks about system quarterbacks, like Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy. Oh, he wouldn't be able to do things if he went somewhere else. Well, then if that's the case, then that coach is calling the plays that he know he can handle and can execute. So like that has a lot to do with the coach.
Different coaches work well for different guys.
Right. So
Chris
like
Ash might not be as good for another player.
Right. So it's like I can't necessarily just say like the coach don't have nothing. Like it's like 70-30.
Can I give you the biggest example in my mind from a quarterback perspective of that?
Sam Darnold.
No, well, he fits in, but Jared Goff. I mean, Jared Goff started his career with Jeff Fisher. Goes to McVay, and McVay said, I don't think he's good enough. He got better under McVay, but did not become the quarterback he's now. Now is.
Jared Goff. Oh, yeah.
It was Jeff Fisher.
Right, okay. And then
he
McVay,
got drafted by Jeff Fisher.
And now
then
Dan
McVay,
Campbell.
Jeff Fisher,
and then goes to Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And he got older as a player, but he was with McVay for a couple years. And McVay's as good of a quarterback teacher as I think any of us.
No offense, Mike, but I think that's actually a bad example because he played better with Dan Campbell than he did with McVay.
That's my point. Different coach. I'm not saying it's necessarily. I'm saying different coaches connect with players in different ways.
Yeah, right. I got you.
I'm not saying it's a knock on McVay. McVay's in a tier of his own. I'm saying, for whatever reason, Jared Goff and Sean McVay, the way they saw football, the way that they wanted to execute their vision of an offensive game plan, did not mesh as well as it has for him in Detroit.
Well, he had a level of success with McVay, better than Jeff Fisher.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think it's a combination of things. Like when you're a coach, that's why I always say, you got to be a people person as well as a person that can understand the game. Because when you're a coach, you are a motivator, you're a teacher, you're a psychologist. You have to be. And sometimes a coach will tell you messing up because of your technique. Sometimes a coach will tell you messing up because you in your head. Sometimes the coach will tell you, hey, listen, that's on me. You thinking too much out there. Let's simplify the game so you can play faster.
Yeah.
So they doing, and sometimes